wanna find you.
Hello and welcome to Within with Denise and Sihle. We are on episode 2 of season 2. Alright, so today we are talking about being nice. What is it? Why do we do it? Why do we not do it? Alright, so let's get into it.
How do you feel when people describe you as nice? Have you ever been described as nice? Like,
often.
yeah.
I think I used to take it. I used to think it was a compliment.
Sure.
I would love it. I was like, "Oh, you're so nice. Thank you." So I used to really like that people would think that I'm nice. But after a while, I think as I grew older, I started to not like it because people would expect you to be nice in every situation, even when it requires self-betrayal and
Sure.
it requires being nice to them and you're not nice to you.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think when I realized that so there's a lack of boundaries there, and
Sure.
I started to figure out all of these other things that would go with being nice.
Sure.
How do you feel if people ever called you nice, and how does that feel?
Yeah, no, definitely. I like for a long time I was the nice one. Not anymore. But I think also I had a primary school teacher who used to be like, if you use the word nice, like an English teacher, if you use the word nice in your essay,
Yeah.
I'm not marking it.
Yeah.
Because what is nice?
That is the most boring word
Yeah.
in the dictionary.
Yeah. So how would we define nice? What even is nice? So as you're talking, I'm thinking, Uguti, you're actually right. Nice has a lot to do with appeasing others at the expense of self, or
Yeah.
at the expense of the rules or the systems that are in place or the boundaries that are in place.
Yeah.
Because, for example, somebody wanting to copy your homework, and then you're like, no, then you're not nice all of a
Yeah.
sudden.
And it's that one thing that's triggering, because I mean, when you're younger, you really want to be part of the crowd. You want to be
Yeah.
accepted.
You wanna be liked.
You want to be within, and especially in a classroom, like if one person is like, she's not nice, then other people will start looking for evidence to support that. And the more you say, no, I don't want to do that,
Yeah.
the more you're excluded, and nobody wants to be on the
We
outside.
all want to belong.
Yeah. So that fitting in, belonging kind of tag
Sure.
started way back in primary school. But I remember one of my neighbors used to call, like, if you did something bad, you were officially a bad kid.
Bad like what though?
Like anything, like if you came home late, well, for them, if they came home late, or if we did something at their house, because I was always at their house, maybe you like spilled something, you're officially a bad girl. And nobody wanted to be a bad girl.
Sure.
So then there was just like this need to be like a good girl. Then you have to work extra hard to be just like good and nice, and just like do things that are right. And like we would also be like, we can't play with you, so you're also a bad girl.
So were these the adults who were like,
yeah.
Sure.
So the adults, like her parents, would say if someone did something that wasn't nice, or if someone was, I don't know, fighting, like he wouldn't even ask Uguti, okay, what happened here? What was the situation? He'll just be like, you're the bad girl.
Sounds like bad girl behavior to me.
And so I think those kind of things, they kind of play out as you grow older. You're like, oh, I have to be right, I have to be on the right and the safe side. But I think that when we look at niceness, it is a boring word. It is a word that's just like, it can mean a lot of different things, and I think the reason for that is because there's so many other connotations to it.
Yeah.
There's people who are nice because they're really sweet. There's people who are nice because they're giving. So I mean, the
Like
nice person
generous.
is just generous. What else?
Because they are forgiving.
Yeah. If you're really forgiving, people tend to think, oh, you're so nice. I mean, I can be 2 hours late, and you'll be like, it's okay, and then it's fine. It's fine.
It's not fine.
It's really fine. So things like that we sort of, I think that also people will cross your boundaries as much as you let them, and they'll always test you like, how far can I go with this person? And the more nice you are, or the more you don't speak up about something that doesn't sit right with you, the more people take advantage of that. And then
100%.
What gets out, Uguti, no, this is the person you can call to come at like 6 p.m. whereas maybe they were, I don't know, they were here the whole day. Oh, she'll stay for an extra hour, it's fine, because she's really nice, like she'll do it.
Audacity is at an all-time high.
The audacity has its own set of audacities, and nobody's playing games. And so if you don't set boundaries, I think that's key to being perceived as too nice. Because there's also that, oh, she's too nice, but I don't know where's the line.
So there's like a pushback from society from being too nice. Like if you're too nice, there's also like a rejection.
I think so. I think that people do. I mean, if someone labels you as, oh, she's a bit too nice, I don't think that's a good thing. And it's not. I think it's not something that can work in your favor.
I'm trying to think what that means. Does it mean like they think you're faking it? Or?
I think so. Actually,
Sure.
I think you just nailed it. If someone is too nice, it's like, no, this person doesn't have any sense of self. Like they don't like, not value, but they don't really. They're not acting as themselves when someone is too nice. Yeah.
Sure. And I think from what you're saying, what I'm thinking of now is that being nice is a lot to do with acting, being perceived, and it's not so much about who you are being, it's doing. Yeah. Does being nice serve us?
Absolutely not.
Period.
I think that no, I mean not 100% no.
Sure.
I think that there is kindness, which is something that we aspire to be kind in all situations. But I think that you can be kind and assertive. You can be kind. You can be nice and assertive.
Can you? I think that
kind.
nice doesn't let you be assertive.
Yeah. You can be kind and assertive, but you can also be kind with limitations, and I think that's where there's like an extension of your kindness where you're kind and you're not kind to yourself, and that's where it goes back into niceness. So all the other things, I think they have an impact on how far you're willing to go, and I think it just keeps boiling back to the boundaries that you have.
I agree. I think kind is principled.
Yeah.
Kind is about who you are. It has so much integrity. It's like these are my standards, these are my values. So my value is that I honor other human beings. My value is that people are important. My value is that I, show up for my loved ones.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go outside of my values to show up for you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's an integrity. It's like in school, like high school or university. You'd get there, you meet your teachers. There'd be that teacher who is like sugary sweet and like, hi guys, oh my gosh. And then there was the ones that were like, okay, so this is me, this is what we do here, this is what I expect of you, and this is what I'm going to give you. But usually, like, towards the end, you realize that this is a real one. The one that didn't seem nice. Like, when you have a problem and you need somebody to actually show up for you, it's usually that one that didn't seem nice.
Yeah.
So I think kindness is like an inside thing where you're like, I'm going to do this for you, and this is why.
Yeah.
Because it aligns with my values.
And I think it starts then with within yourself. So if you're unkind to yourself, then the authenticity of your kindness to others and the ability for you to relate it to what would I need in this situation. Because if you're unkind to yourself and you're like, I'd be like, there's no time to cry about this, so we move. But then when you know that, oh, this is something that I've felt, and you were kind to yourself in that situation, then you're able to extend that to others without sacrificing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the be all and end all. I'm always so like suspicious of people who are horrible to themselves. Like, you can't be like to yourself, oh, I'm such a baby, I don't know why I'm crying. And then when I'm crying, you're like, oh no, it's okay. How?
But we do that. I'm definitely guilty of times where for another person, I'm like, okay, we need to pull all the stops for them. But when it comes to me, I'm like, girl, be strong, get the thing done. You need to keep it pushing.
Sure.
Nobody's got time for your tears, you know. And until you find a place where you're kinder to yourself, that's when you start to exercise. That's when you start to draw the line with, no, this is not something I'm willing to extend myself beyond.
Yeah.
And then you're able to be authentically kind for other people.
That's so true. That's true. I think kindness that doesn't start with you is quite superficial. It might not be fake, but it's shallow, I think.
And it's not always people's intention.
Yeah.
But once you're conscious of it, and once you're like, actually, that's not something I want to do, then you realize that even people who are taking advantage of you because of your niceness or because you always go the extra mile, they aren't being kind to you. As much as they can compliment you and say all of these nice things. People who allow you to literally betray yourself and self-sacrifice for their benefits aren't nice people.
They're not for you.
They're not for you, yeah. And so they don't really do anything for you. And you don't need those people to like you, or you don't need those kind of people to be in your corner, because those people will let you burn. Literally, you will be in the biggest emergency.
They'll utter them Lilo, and they'll be there
quite last time I did this for you, and they'll literally not be available for you because they to them it's like, how, but what, you wanted to do that, you know, and it's like, that's not my problem.
And it kuba buhlungu when people are like, yeah, but I didn't ask you to. But it's the whole truth.
Yeah.
Okay, so lastly, what do you think is at stake if we are not perceived as nice? What do we lose?
There's so many perceived losses, I think. We think, how are you going to be somebody's wife when you can't overextend yourself? Because we think sometimes even being a wife is like an overextend. You have to, these are the people that go the extra mile and they think about everybody else but themselves, which is like,
sounds
where do we get this from?
Why do we want it?
Like, no. That's all.
Why would you want that for yourself?
Whole nother conversation. But then we also think we'll lose the job, we'll lose the promotion.
Yeah, because now you're the problematic one.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be the person who's like, oh, you're this kind of girl. Oh no, like you speak up when you're not happy. Where did you get that from? You don't like that. No, I think we also get that from home. I know that, like, if you express dissatisfaction, like Uhineleni, Aibo, you just gave me a beat down. Why would I be smiling? Aibo, you know, and you expect us to just smile and be quiet and do the things that nice people do. But as you grow older, like, your voice matters, your dissatisfaction matters, and you can be unimpressed.
We always feel like we can't be, like, let's say you, like, for example, you buy a service from someone. Let's just make a simple example. They're shining your shoes. Then they ask you back, so what do you think? You kind of feel like you have to be like, wow.
Hey, like, No, it's not. It's not what I imagined.
And when you say that, it's like,
Hi, boy.
"Hey, boy, little customer, develop."
And it's not even, you don't have to say it in a rude way. You can literally be honest that this isn't what I wanted actually, but you know,
Yeah.
it is what it is now. But
Sure.
you don't, like the way in which you do things, the way in which you say things, you can keep kindness, but also be honest.
Yeah.
About how you feel about a service, how you feel about anything really, a date, you weren't happy with A, B, and C.
Yeah.
And
What about gifts? Like someone gets you a gift. Are you allowed to say? But I think also like as we move from niceness to kindness, which is what I think our personal journeys have been, it also doesn't mean now don't go the extra mile. I think it's still important to go the extra mile. Like for example at work, some other department is not there. I used to be like, not my job, don't ask me. But now I realize that actually it's to my benefit to be able to function in another role because that expands my skill set.
exactly.
So I think it's all about that internal conversation of why am I doing this? Oh, because it serves me in this way. Not because they're gonna think I'm terrible.
Yeah.
So your why needs to start with I believe, I think, I benefit, not with they will think.
And how does this feel to me?
Sure.
So does it sit right in my spirit? And do I feel tired by this action? Like, am I super exhausted today because I helped you last time? If today I'm super tired, and you're asking me to do something that I've previously done before, but it wasn't an overextension then. So what do I do now? This is something that, okay, I've done this for you before.
Sure.
So why is it something that now I can't because of A, B, and C? Unfortunately, I've had a really busy day. I cannot be there for you in this way. I know that I've been there for you before. And sometimes you don't have to explain in the moment, especially if it's a case of you being super exhausted. If it's someone who values you, if it's someone who you need to keep around, then they'll take the L and they'll sort themselves out. And then maybe later, when you're feeling like yourself, you can just be like, actually, this is what was going on in the moment. And that's not going to be, and you're not going to think that, oh, they think I'm a horrible person now. You're going to be like, I'll explain when I can.
Exactly.
This is what it is. And it's also then an intern for us to be like, when someone does something, you know, because you can't be like, this is what y'all should do. But when it's me, I'm not doing the same thing. So it's important to just keep.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like my son does that sometimes, and I realize that I get triggered. I'll be like, baby, don't touch it into a woods, and he'll be like, no, mom, I'm tired. I'll be like, excuse me. And then I literally had to ask myself, like, why does that offend me? Why is it that offends me? And I'll be able to gauge it was okay. Actually, I just into my you know, this is like the 10th thing that I'm asking him to get. So let me, you know, go and get it, and that's okay. But it triggers us. But when we're aware that actually people are allowed to say no. People are allowed to choose themselves.
And you're allowed to also say no, and you're allowed to also choose yourself. And once you give yourself that permission,
literally. Literally.
And that is that on that. Is there anything else you want to add?
That's it. That's it. Thank you so much for joining us again. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching.